Hi, everyone. Welcome to All About Diabetes Tech. My name is Emily. I'm one of the diabetes educators at Children's Minnesota, and this video is all about the Tandem insulin pumps. If you are new to insulin pump therapy, please watch our Pump 101 video series prior to diving into the All About Diabetes Tech videos. I'm going to get my PowerPoint shared with you guys, and then we will start learning all about the Tandem insulin pumps. Tandem has two insulin pumps currently on the market, the X2 and the Mobi. We will be learning about both pumps in this presentation. First, we've got our disclaimers and confidentiality protections. Feel free to come back to this if need be. And let's first learn about the Tandem t:slim X2 pump. The X2 pump looks like this. In real life, looks like this. It's about the size of an Altoids tin, maybe a little smaller than a deck of cards. It is one of our tubed insulin pumps. You receive your sensor data directly on the face of the pump, and this is a touchscreen. The sensors that the X2 are compatible with include the Libre 2 Plus, the Dexcom G7, and the Dexcom G6. What's nice is you can choose any one of these three sensors, and the software is compatible with all three. The Libre 2 Plus looks like this. It is the size of two stacked quarters. It is just this white piece in the middle, not the clear display. The Libre 2 Plus is a 15-day sensor. It's all one piece, so you throw it away at the end of your 15 days, and it has a 1-hour warm-up period. The Libre 2 Plus is only compatible to be used on one device at a time, meaning you can only have the sensor data display on your pump or on your phone, not both simultaneously. In this case, when you're using Libre 2 Plus with your pump, you are unable to follow the Libre 2 Plus sensor data remotely. The other two sensors that Tandem is compatible with, the Dexcom G7 and Dexcom G6, you can use those mobile apps in conjunction with the pump. Therefore, you can follow the sensor data remotely at the same time as the pump running. Now for Dexcom, you've got the two models, the G7 and the G6. Your G7 looks like this. It is a little smaller than two stacked quarters, and it's a 10.5-day sensor, all one piece that you throw away at the end of your sensor session, and it has a 26-minute warm-up period. Your Dexcom G6 looks like this. It is a two-piece sensor that you wear for 10 days. What that means is you have a sensor that lasts for 10 days. This is what your electrode is connected to under the skin. And then there's an external transmitter. This has a 90-day battery, so you reuse this sensor to sensor for 90 days. Your transmitter clips into your sensor, and then it's able to transmit the sensor data to your pump and or phone. Again, you wear this for 10 days. It's two pieces. This model has a 2-hour warm-up period. The Tandem X2 has a 300 unit reservoir. So this piece in the back comes out. That is your cartridge. Whoop, it's a little sticky today. There we go. And this is what holds up to 300 units of insulin at a time. This has a touch screen, a built-in rechargeable battery, and it is waterproof at 3 feet for 30 minutes. I say that with a grain of salt though. It is waterproof if you've never dropped it, banged it, hit it too hard, that type of thing. So be cautious. Your sensor data does auto-populate into your dosing calculator. There is no linking meter with this pump. A Pedra cannot be used in the t:slim X2. A Pedra is a rapid-acting insulin that you may or may not be using. There is something in the chemical makeup that is incompatible with the cartridges. It makes the tubing be kind of gummy, and so we don't want that happening. If you are an Apidra user, just let us know, and then we can prescribe Humalog or Novolog for you. You are eligible for remote software upgrades while in warranty with the Tandem X2 insulin pump. And there also is a mobile app called the T-Connect mobile app. The mobile app will display these pump data on your phone. So essentially, you're seeing all of your pump data directly on your phone. You can bolus from the app as well. So you can keep that pump tucked away, clipped away, wherever it is, and then just use your phone to bolus. So on the screen here, you can see there's a bolus button at the bottom. You would tap this, it's going to pull that sensor data in for you, and then put your carb count in, and then it will deliver that bolus. The phone does need to be within about 5 feet of you to deliver that bolus, and then it doesn't need to be nearby you once you've pressed start on that. With the mobile app, you cannot acknowledge alerts and alarms. Alerts and alarms must be acknowledged on the pump itself. The mobile app also auto uploads to the T-Connect or Source website or cloud. So if that mobile app is open, it's synced with your pump, it's going to be auto uploading to the cloud, which is really handy. It is an option to manually upload this pump through the computer. You use the charging port here to plug the pump into your computer, and then you upload it to the T-Connect or Source website. Now, the Tandem Mobi came out in February 2024, and it is about half the size of our X2 pump. You can see the photo on the screen. This is what it looks like in real life. Compared to the X2 for size comparison, we look like this. So right about half of the size. The Tandem Mobi pump is currently compatible with the Dexcom G6 sensor. That is our two-piece 10-day wear sensor. It is projected to be compatible with G7 summer 2024 and Libre 2 Plus or Libre 3 Plus, they're not quite sure yet, early 2025. So other sensors are coming. We already talked about what the Dexcom G6 is. The Mobi holds up to 200 units in its reservoir. So this clear piece comes out. That is what you fill with your insulin for 3 days. And Mobi is compatible to be worn in the water, or it's waterproof, I guess, at 8 feet for up to 2 hours. There are no charging ports on this as it is a wireless charging pad that is used to charge it. So that's what makes it so watertight. There is optional on-body wear. So there is this tubing, just like your X2. You can order it in 5-inch tubing, so it's super short tubing. And then there are patches to adhere it to your body. So imagine that this blue part is your body. This is what the adhesive patch looks like. This is what your infusion set could look like, depending on what version you get. And then your Mobi will slip inside of this little pouch and clip into place. It's a little tough to do with just my 2 hands, but we will do it. Boom. All right, so we're clipped into place. It is quite snug in there, actually. And then you can clip your tubing to your infusion set. So this is what on-body wear would look like. You could wear this on your abdomen, on your arm, on your leg, like in the photo, many different options for this. A lot of people will also wear this adhesive patch in one spot for many days and rotate their infusion set around it so that they're not having to replace this adhesive patch quite as often. The adhesive patches are sold separately. You can order these through the Tandem website or the Tandem portal. So with your on-body wear, it is quite easy to detach if you need to charge the pump, or let's say you just need to take it off. You just simply will detach from your infusion set, and then this pulls out quite easily. Tandem Mobi also offers remote software upgrades while in warranty. So as new software comes out, you don't need to get a new pump. You simply push the new software from your app to the pump. It is a different mobile app for Mobi. It's called Tandem Mobi, and you use this app for full pump functionality. There is no screen on here, so everything is done on your mobile app. It does automatically upload to T-Connect and Source, just like the T-Connect mobile app. Again, the app has to be open and connected to your pump to have those auto uploads happening. Because there are no buttons, or I'm sorry, there are no charging ports on here, there's no way to manually upload this to the cloud. You have to be using the mobile app to do so. Currently, the iPhone is what is compatible to use for the Tandem Mobi mobile app. There is not a projected date for Android at this time, but certainly keep an eye on the Tandem website or just do a quick Google search if you are an Android user. There is one button on Mobi called your pump button. It is multifunctional. One of the uses is for a quick bolus. What that is you can press this in a series of presses and it will tell the pump to give a certain amount of insulin. You can program it to deliver a set of units or a set amount of grams of carbs. This is useful if you don't have your mobile app with you, then you can simply bolus with that button. You can also use this button to snooze alerts and alarms if you don't have your phone nearby to snooze those or clear those alarms. And then you can also press this button to see your pump status to see if it's delivering basal, is it delivering a bolus? There's a series of flashing lights that will indicate what is happening if you've memorized what all the different flashing lights mean. This is what the mobile app looks like. Um, Let me see if I can get this video playing for you guys. I think it will go, there we go. So the mobile app will display up to 24 hours of history. On the dashboard, you can see your current settings. You can click the bolus button next to that. It pulls that blood sugar in, and then you can type in your carbohydrates to deliver that bolus. You can go into actions to do the exercise and sleep activities, notifications to clear your alarms, and then settings for all of your pump settings. So that's just a quick demo of what the mobile app looks like. You can also go to the Tandem website to see a simulator. Okay, so now let's dive into the Tandem Control IQ algorithm. This is the hybrid closed loop system that Tandem uses for both the X2 and the Mobi pumps. Control IQ is currently approved ages 6 plus with a minimum weight of 55 pounds and a minimum total daily dose of insulin of 10 units. This is both your basal and your bolus added together across 24 hours. The Control IQ algorithm is actually FDA approved ages 2 plus, but that version of the software is not on the market yet. So at the time of this recording, at least. So if your child is less than 6 and you are interested in one of the Tandem pumps, just ask one of the educators, or you can also do a quick Google search to see if the algorithm is now approved for ages 2 plus or not and available. For Tandem, the minimum basal rate is 0.1 units per hour. This means you need to be on at least 2.5 units of basal. And then above the 0.1 units per hour, you can increase the basal rates in 0.001 unit increments, so very tiny adjustments above that. Your sensor data auto-populates into your dosing calculator. There's not a linking meter. The algorithm uses a target blood sugar range to increase and decrease your programmed basal rates. It will also use that target blood sugar range to deliver a partial correction bolus. Key word here is partial. When it is delivering these partial correction boluses, it is delivering 60% of the calculated bolus. This is to prevent hypoglycemia because of the pump increasing your basal rates in the background. This partial correction can happen up to once per hour. So let's talk about this target blood sugar range. For Control IQ, it is targeting a blood sugar range of 112.5 to 160. What the algorithm is looking at is your current Dexcom data and your insulin on board, as well as a number of other pieces of information, but those are the big ones for us to know about. If the Dexcom is predicting that your blood sugar will remain in this range of 112.5 to 160 for the next 30 minutes, then it will continue to run your current profile settings or your current basal rate. When it projects you'll go above 160, that's when it starts increasing the basal rate in the background. And then if you're projected to go above 180, that is when it will give that partial correction bolus. If you sustain above 180 for over an hour, then it will give another partial correction bolus. And again, that can happen up to once an hour. On the flip side, if you're projected to go below 112.5 in the next 30 minutes, that's when it starts reducing your basal rate in the background. And if you're projected to go below 70, that's when it stops your basal rate. With every sensor value that you get every 5 minutes, that is when it's deciding how much insulin to give in the background, again, based off of your current set profile. When you're getting those corrections, it is targeting 112.5, trying to get you down to that. The Control IQ algorithm uses an insulin action time of 5 hours. It is set that way. If you program your pump for a different insulin action time, it will only use that insulin action time when Control IQ is turned off. Control IQ is turned on or off. You cannot have a suspend before low only setting. It is either completely on or completely off. The only thing you need to have your Control IQ active is an active sensor on your body connected to the pump. Control IQ will not exit you out of automation. It's always on. And we talked about that. And then Control IQ does also offer exercise and sleep activities, and we're going to dive into this on the next page. So the sleep and exercise activities are to help maintain stable blood sugars during periods of activity or during sleep. So what we talked about already was the standard Control IQ technology and what blood sugars it is targeting. If you turn your exercise activity on, it is going to change what it's targeting. So now it is targeting blood sugars of 140 to 160, and then above and below that is when it starts increasing and decreasing your basal rates. It's still going to give that partial correction above 180, but now it's going to stop your delivery if you're projected to go below 80. This is again to prevent hypoglycemia while active. To turn your exercise activity on or off, you simply tell the pump on or off. You go into the menu. There is a timer available on certain software systems. So depending on when you got your pump, your software may have that timer so that you can set it to automatically turn off in a certain amount of time, or you might have to manually turn the setting off. For the sleep activity, it's now targeting lower blood sugars to keep you in a really tight range while sleeping. It is targeting blood sugars of 112.5 to 120. And then above and below that is when it's increasing and decreasing your basals. In sleep activity, there is no automatic correction bolus. So if you have your sleep activity on, I recommend giving a correction right before you go to bed so that there's a little bit more insulin on board and you're not just depending on those basals to get you down into range overnight. The sleep activity can have a set schedule. So you can say, hey, always turn on Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 6 a.m. and always turn on Saturday, Sunday from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. This is a nice feature because you don't have to think about it. It just automatically turns on in the background. Okay, so Tandem resources. Of course, there's your Tandem Diabetes website. You can learn more about the different pumps on there. You can also find training resources. They actually have some great resources for schools and daycare providers to learn about the Tandem pump. A lot of information there. Their website is also where the Mobi simulator lives. The X2 simulator is actually a mobile app, so it's called the T simulator. You can download that and play around with it. And then these are our local contacts for Tandem. Corey Aylen is our representative. If you have questions about insurance, reach out to him. And then Brittany Hugot, I always forget how to pronounce it. She's our Tandem trainer. So once you get your pump, that is who you'd be training with or coordinating training with. The image on the screen is the Tandem simulator. We'll see if I can get this video going for you too. Here we go. So the simulator is showing you what your pump might look like throughout time. The red bars on there are when the pump is suspending insulin to prevent hypoglycemia. But that's just kind of a quick view of what the pump might look like in real life. Alrighty, well, that is everything I have to tell you about the Tandem insulin pumps. Enjoy the rest of your day and let us know if you have questions. Bye.